We have brand new homes starting in the 300,000s with some incredible incentives worth sticking around for. Today, we are back in Paris, Florida, checking out Riversong by Pulte Homes. Wagwan, my peoples. If you are new to the channel, welcome, and if you are returning, welcome back to the Living in Tampa Bay channel. I'm your host, Shandon Kaya, and your trusted real estate advisor for the Tampa Bay area. That is right, Pulte Homes has yet another rapidly developing community in the new construction capital of Tampa Bay, that is Paris, Florida. We are just over the Skyway Bridge, a 45-minute drive south from St. Petersburg, and about 45 to 50 minutes if you're coming from central or downtown Tampa. As we've seen on the channel plenty of times before, we know Pulte Homes as one of the most reputable builders who specializes in balancing affordability and quality. And with floor plans in this community starting in the 300,000s, going all the way up to the 800,000s, they have a price point that fits just about anyone's criteria. And they have some incentives that I will talk about a little bit later, but we're talking interest rate buy downs, paying for your closing costs, or even taking a big chunk off of the purchase price. But I'll save that for later because we have 4 models we're gonna get to walk through today. So stick around because we have the opportunity to tour some of these gorgeous new construction floor plans. But one last thing before we do that, I wanna remind you guys that I am a licensed agent in the state of Florida. So if you have real estate goals, questions, or dreams of moving here, especially the Tampa Bay area, or you're just curious about new construction, I'm gonna drop my contact information on screen so you guys can get in touch. And to add a little bit more value, I'm gonna give you a completely free guide to buying new construction. I'm gonna drop the link to it in the description of this video. All you have to do is copy and paste it into your search bar and it'll take you to the PDF completely free. And if you enjoyed this video or found it helpful and want to see more like it, please be sure to go down, like, comment, and hit that subscribe button because it genuinely helps me continue to create more content like this for you guys. And now, as promised, let's start these home tours. Okay, so now we're inside the Pinecrest, and this is one of their lesser floor plans, and by lesser I mean more affordable. But what I like to do here, if you're new, is flip the camera and I'll walk you through the floor plan so you can see exactly how it's laid out, and while I do so, I'll point out some of my favorite features. All right, so this is your entrance, stairs right at the front. You have, I believe these are 8.5 foot ceilings, and then you have this entry here where this would be your garage. You have a nice space here, so the feng shui flows smoothly. And then we enter your great room and you have living, dining, and kitchen all adjacent to each other. And we know Pulte wastes no space, so this little 3 foot of wall space here, they've went ahead and staged it as a little office or desk space to get some work done. But you also have this bedroom here off to the side that's staged as an office, and I think that is the perfect use of it as it is kind of separated from the rest of the home. You have your half bath here to accompany, and then you can be closed off and isolated. Now moving into the kitchen, one thing you may not have noticed is this community is a gas community. So for my chefs like me who love to grill and cook, those gas stoves are going to be a very good tool for you. And then they have this huge pantry right off to the side of the fridge here, off the side of the kitchen, which is a great touch. Again, for you home chefs who are like me, this is a great touch because you have all the space you need, and this kitchen, with it being right next to the dining room, can feel a little compact, but you have plenty of counter space in here, and the pantry is a beautiful addition. And now the last thing on the ground floor is the patio here is screened in. it is covered, making it a full lanai. And we know with some builders, even Pulte sometimes, they don't always offer this. You may have a patio, no covering. You may have a covering, no screen. So having the full lanai is a beautiful addition as well, because you can enjoy the outdoors without having to worry about the bugs or the rain. All right, so now we are upstairs, and you can see at the very top of the stairs, this opens up into this open loft area. And right adjacent to it is your laundry room. And this is a good place for it because, one, the bedrooms are all at the far side of the hall here. So you won't have to worry about any noise coming from either machine if you're, doing your laundry overnight while you sleep. And then your first guest bathroom is here. You have guest bedroom 1, guest bedroom 2. I guess that's actually 2 and 3. And then you have your primary suite at the very end of the hallway, of course, with full ensuite bathroom, dual vanity, stand-up shower, and walk-in closet. Now, this is not amongst some of the biggest closets we've seen, but again, arms are fully spread out. I'm not touching any of the walls, so decent size, not the biggest, not the smallest, still adequate. All right, we have a lot to get through. So I believe the models go up in both quality and price with some of the features you'll see within the model. So keep that in mind as we go through them. And, if that's your criteria, then maybe stick to one of the earlier models if you're more on that affordable side. But if you're on the luxury side, then continue to watch as we move into the more expensive floor plans. Okay, so this is the Yellowstone, and will probably end up being my favorite floor plan. So let's have a flip and I'll show you. All right, as you saw, we have a grand foyer again, wide open entrance. You have this bedroom right at the front of the home, and they made the beautiful touch of adding an ensuite bathroom, making this the perfect in-law or guest suite. And this person here can have their, own space, own privacy, and it's almost separated and secluded from the rest of the home. So you wouldn't really have to interfere with each other for the utmost privacy. And then again, similar to the last model, you have this entry room over here with your garage entrance just there, room for your keys, coats, so on and so forth. And then as you move into here, you would think this would be a space for like a formal dining, but they have this beam here and it creates this separation and feng shui that just flows so smoothly. You have the wooden vinyl up top to give it some contrast, some detail, and some flavor. But this room and staging is done perfectly. A good use for maybe a study or some kind of reading nook. And then this flows into your living room, and you can see this is wide open with a ton of space before you even reach your kitchen and dining. You can see they've went with the white and brown finishes opposed to the last model, and the contrast in here is beautiful with the gorgeous chandelier hung over top. Now, let me point out something outside real quick. There's so much space out here. You have a portion that is covered, you have the rest that is not, but it is all screened in, so the bugs will not be bothering you out here. You can see next door, which we'll get to in a second, they have a pool over there. This one does not, but there's clearly enough space for one. They've got some turf back there, they've got a ping pong table here. Now you clear all this stuff, you could certainly add a pool. Or if you don't want the pool, don't want the extra fees, the extra maintenance, you can go ahead and keep it a perfect entertainment outdoor space just like this one. Now, we would have missed this in the clips, but off the side of the kitchen here, again, they have this gorgeous pantry. I mean, look at the shelving in here. You have a Lazy Susan for all your spice and seasoning needs, and the shelves go nearly to the top. You even have some additional space for maybe your bigger appliances like air fryers and pressure cookers up there. All right, now we're gonna head upstairs, and this staircase is actually beautiful. I wanted to get a clip of it, but I figured it'd be better from my point of view, because as you come up, it kind of wraps around the entire upstairs, going from this side all the way around to the other side, and your bedrooms kind of just flow along this outer wall here. And again, the feng shui through this model is perfect, and the energy flows perfectly. No one's really interrupting any space, and there's no, weird obstacles or banisters or furniture that is in your way as you move from room to room. So your laundry room and guest room are here and here respectively, and then the guest bedrooms wrap around. But at the far side of the upstairs, you have this media room, and it is huge up here. And they don't have not one, not two, but 3 desks for, this could be a study, this could be a gaming room. I just call it a media room because it kind of opens the opportunities to whatever you want them to be, for you, for your children, or for whoever is going to utilize this space. And then lastly is your primary suite. And again, this floor plan is so wide open. You have a very decent sized linen closet right next to your walk-in closet. And again, the shelving in here is all taken care of for you. And we'll flip now and I'll show you. This is not even comparable to the last model because it is at least twice the size. So you have her side, or the wife can tuck the husband in some other closet throughout this massive home, and she can have this all to herself. And then, of course, they kept the consistent contrast with the white and brown upstairs in the bathroom as well, with the dual vanity. And you'll see that the shower quality changes as well with the white tile dual shower head, rainfall shower head up top, and the water closet at the back. All right, my friends, we are halfway there. We have 2 models left. And again, keep in mind your budget. That way, as we go through these later models, if we start to move out of your price point, then this may be a good time for you to exit the video. I know that goes against what I should be telling you, but take this time to reach out to me with any questions, or comment any questions you may have about the community so far, and I'll be sure to answer them as quick as possible. Okay, so this is the Mystique, and I'm sure as you noticed immediately, this is a single story floor plan opposed to 2 stories like the first 2 models. So I'm going to flip the camera, point out some of my favorite features, because there are a few that I think in the last model were better, but this one also did better as well. Okay, so right from the beginning, you can see we have a foyer. The hallway is long, but it doesn't feel as open as the other, even the first model. It seems a little bit tighter, a little bit closed in, but you still have the high, I believe, 8.5 foot or 9 foot ceilings as you come in. And then immediately to the left, you have a guest bathroom and guest bedroom. And this time they've went ahead and split the hallway, and they've put a guest bedroom on each side. And your laundry room is at the front of the home, unlike the last model with your garage entrance right behind me. And then your second guest bedroom is here. And one design flaw I think is, as you come in, unless I double back, you wouldn't have noticed that the ensuite bathroom is actually right here. So with that door opening up the way it does, it kind of blocks your entryway into your bathroom. It's hard to see when you come in, but maybe that's just a personal preference for me and the way the feng shui is supposed to flow. All right, so now we come back out, and here's where it gets good. They've went ahead and added a office, and this is exclusively an office because you can see they have the dual glass pane French doors, It is secluded from the rest of the home. You have the thick walls for noise cancellation and perfect. They even put a bed in here as if it was a psychiatrist's office and you can get some therapy. But you can see here that it flows into the great room here. You have the recessed ceilings with the beams running across, a Pulte classic, and then your LDK space with your living, dining, and kitchen all adjacent to each other again. Now let's come through the kitchen here. And again, this is Pulte, and we know Pulte in French means waste no space. No, I'm just kidding. But they did go ahead and add a pantry. Again, the last pantry I believe was better personally, but they've used this corner to make sure no space went wasted. And they've added a pantry for you home chefs. And then your dining at the end here. Primary suite at the back of the home. And they went with these wooden panels like they did in the flex space in the last model, and they just look so great sat against that recessed white ceiling. And then the bathroom is where they really stepped it up again with the marble, almost marble looking tile shower, the glass casing, and again, waste no space. They've added a desk here, a vanity if you would for you makeup artists, ladies out there, and dual vanity. The lighting fixtures in here are incredible. And another massive walk-in closet. Again, I think the other one is better, but to each their own. I did say I would show you guys this pool, so let's step outside again real quick. You can see they have a grill behind me, dining furniture. This bit is all covered. They have a ceiling fan right here. You could even take it a step further and seal this part off. You could have two screens. Seems a little excessive, but for some people, it just adds that extra layer of separation and security between the two spaces. And then you come out to the pool here. And the pool you can see is a bit small, but it leaves room for some outdoor furniture for you to sunbathe and really, really take advantage of this outdoor space that Pulte Homes has provided you with. All right, family, stick with me now. We're going into our last model, and this will certainly be the most grandiose, and you're gonna see a lot of the features are just a caliber above the rest of what we've seen so far. But for that reason, the price point does go up. So I'll remind you again, pay attention to your budget, keep your budget in mind as we move through this last one, and then stick around because I do want to talk about the incentives and the location that we are at and why this community could be a good fit for you who's watching. Okay, for this one, we are starting outside because this is a mammoth of a house. So let's flip right now, and I'm just gonna show you why the price point goes up and why Pulte Homes always stands out as one of the best builders we have here in the Tampa Bay area. Right out front here, you have a covered front patio, almost makes it feel like a Midwest Southern home. Doesn't make it feel like you're in Florida because you can really enjoy that front presence of your home. And then two-car garage, of course, in this massive, beautiful paved driveway, unlike we've seen in some of the other models in the past. And now we're inside. We're gonna look straight up to this massive entrance with the catwalk overlooking the front door and your grand foyer here, nothing short of grand. And unlike the other models, they put this office right at the front, and this thing is so spacious. We'll step inside here. You can see again, they have the dual glass pane French doors, the most exquisite place to build a study. And now moving into the rest of the home, you have a true formal dining room, beautiful light fixtures. And then one thing I didn't capture is you have this hallway that goes into the kitchen on this far side. Your pantry is actually back here as well. You have a wine cooler courtesy of Pulte Homes. And as you come back out, we're gonna hook around, and I'll point out one thing I also didn't want to skip. This is tucked underneath the stairs, and it is a full bar with another wine cooler, some counter space and cabinetry for all of your alcoholic or non-alcoholic storage needs. Now let's just sit and mesmerize this living room again real fast. This great room is to die for, and your transition into the kitchen, this color palette, the staging, the furniture, everything just meshes together perfectly. And then you look outside, you have your pool area, and again, more than enough furniture for space and entertainment. And of course, that view of the pond out there. And that doesn't even conclude it for the ground floor, because on this far side here, you have your garage entrance there. And again, they've added a nice little room for you. And then your media room, instead of being upstairs like the last floor plan, is down here right next to the pool. And they have just a nice big couch, a big TV, and this is kind of like a lounge area, perfect for the kids if they want to come chill in here after a long day at the pool. And the best part is you have direct pool access outside and in, and you have a, what would they call this? A wet bathroom for, you know, coming in and out of the pool. You want to wash off, come in the house, wash off, go out the house into the pool. That is a perfect addition for you. And now we'll head upstairs, and this time I actually will highlight the staircase because Pulte takes pride in their grand staircases. So we'll take a step back here. You can see it's wide mouth at the bottom, and we'll head up now. So as we get to the top of the stairs here, I'm thinking, oh, look, another office, how great. But you come in, and this is just the separator between the primary bedroom and the primary ensuite bathroom. And it is absolutely massive up here. I don't know how much you can see from the camera, but this bathroom is stunning. I mean, it doesn't get better than this. This is a marble shower, stand up, dual shower head. You have the contrast with the gray and the light brown and the light fixtures and the quartz countertops. Everything just blends together so smoothly. And then you have this gorgeous jacuzzi tub that I would just bathe in for ages. And to top it all off, you have these huge walk-in closets that kind of bend the corner here. And you think that is small, but that is because it is split into two. And this side is actually just a bit bigger. So this would be hers, the other would be his. You have more than enough space for husband and wife. And then your catwalk here with the banisters overlooking that beautiful living room. You come all the way around, and at the end of the hallway here is a guest bedroom. And what I didn't show you in the quick clips is this is actually Jack and Jill style. So if you have siblings around the same age or children around the same age, this can be their shared space. Jack and Jill goes all the way through, and they've went doorless style and kind of opened this bit up and creates for a nice, again, flow of energy. The feng shui is perfect there. And finally, they've put laundry room here. Again, I love this because it is separate from the bedroom, so the noise wouldn't be too much of a burden, and it's into this open space. You know, you carry large laundry bins, you don't want to be bumping the walls and things of that nature. So you come here, and this is your final guest suite. They've even added a very sizable walk-in closet for this guest here and ensuite bathroom. Now, we do love that guest suite. We love when it's there. It's nice to have one. I do think, though, that it's better used on the downstairs because that guest is typically going to want in and out access of the house. So with this one, they're going to have to come up the stairs all the way to the, front of the home and do a lot of movement through the house before they actually get to their designated space for their stay in this residence. All right, that is it for the home tour. So if you stuck around this long, good for you, and I thank you for that. But now, as promised, I want to talk about some of those amenities and incentives I mentioned earlier, because they are massive. And in this market, you have to take advantage of all these things that the builders are offering so that you can get the absolute best deal possible. Okay, so let's start with the incentives. Pulte Homes is known for, let's say, blessing their buyers. And with this market, you have to be competitive. So they went ahead and said, you know what, we're gonna give you a minimum $25,000 in flex cash that can be used to buy down the purchase price, buy down your interest rate, or go towards your closing costs, going all the way up to $50,000 on to-be-built homes, whereas the $25,000 may be exclusive to some quick move-in ready options. And for conventional buyers, you can buy down your interest rate to 4.99%. And for FHA and VA buyers, you can get your interest rate down to 4.25%. So some huge incentives there from Pulte Homes. More than enough, I believe, to close on one of these gorgeous new homes here in the Tampa Bay area. Now, of course, we can't forget about those HOA and CDD fees. And unfortunately, this community does have a CDD fee, but they have 3 different size home sites. So they have 45-foot, 55-foot, and 65-foot home sites. And the CDD for those respectively is going to be $1,604 a year, $2,005 a year, and then $2,406 per year. And the same thing actually applies to the HOA fee in this community as well. So again, starting from the smallest to largest, we have an annual fee of $512 per year. You have $640 per year, and then you have $768 per year. And again, I'll throw these up on the screen now so you guys can see them on what that looks like on a monthly basis too. Now, your follow-up question to that is, well, what does the HOA include? Well, I can tell you that. This will include your access to the community clubhouse, which has a fitness center, a social plaza, and an outdoor wet bar exclusive to its residents. They have a screened-in game room and cornhole yard. You have picnic areas with grilling stations and shaded seating. You have a resort-style pool, one with lap lanes as well, so that's a nice combination. And then you have a tot lot, which is essentially a children's playground, and then you have a splash zone for them as well. And then, of course, some additional amenities are going to be your covered cabanas and hammocks that are all throughout the resort style pool. You have pickleball courts and miles of walking trails that surround the community, as well as an additional dog park and covered playground for children. And these are kind of spread out throughout the development. They're not up yet. I didn't get an answer from the sales agent on when those amenities will be completed, but you can see a couple of the lots here in the background are broken up. So they've broken ground to start construction on these. It'll just be a matter of time. Typically with new communities like this one, they're within the year of when they start developing. Now, the good thing is this is one of their newer communities, so they have a ton of to-be-built options available. For those of you who want to build from the ground up, they do have just a handful of quick move-in ready homes that are complete or nearing completion if that's more your style and you need to move on more of a time crunch. However, with so many opportunities available, this is your opportunity to make an offer, because those prices you see online are not always set in stone. And then, of course, negotiate those concessions and see how much a builder is really willing to work to put you in one of their new construction homes. Now, our location is a little further east than what we may be used to coming right off of Highway 75 and 275 in some of the communities we've seen in the past. However, it brings you further inland, which gives you a little more of a safety cushion for those flood zones. And being out here is a little more, maybe a lot more quiet than some of the developments that are closer to the highways. It does extend your commutes a little bit, maybe 10 to 15 minutes. And then, of course, those escalate depending on traffic. But so as long as you can get past those things, I think this could be a good choice for you. But keep in mind that we are still only about 45 to 50 minutes to Bradenton Beach, Siesta Key, and St. Pete Beach. So if you are someone who really enjoys that beach lifestyle, wants to be on the water, though you're a little further inland, you still have access to all those outside outdoor amenities or locations as well. with that being said, I think that about covers it. We got to see 4 spectacular floor plans, and there's going to be more to come as development continues to rapidly increase in the Tampa Bay area. So if you have questions about new construction or this community specifically, especially in the Tampa Bay area, I would be honored to earn your business and help any way I can. So I'm going to drop my contact information on screen so you guys can get in touch. And don't hesitate to give me a call, send me a text, shoot me an email, as I'm always here to be a resource for you. And if you enjoyed this video or found it helpful, please be sure to go down, like, comment, and hit that subscribe button, because it genuinely helps me continue to create more content like this for you guys. I'll be seeing you guys soon on the next video. Peace.